If you're looking for a cheap and reliable place to buy or sell your FIFA 23 Ultimate Team coins, check out u4gm.com and use code ELITE, ELYYT, for 5% off at checkout. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. We got a lot of content yesterday and more coming this weekend, including some leaked SBCs. So if you're excited for it, do not forget to drop a like on the channel today. We're going to shoot for 269 likes. So if you want to be a part of that, don't forget to drop a like on today's video. And the first thing we're going to talk about are the new packs that are getting added to the store. Of course, I never really find myself buying any of these packs, but they definitely do have an impact on the market, especially when they drop as tradable packs. Well, we do have the halftime rare players pack that's out right now for another 6 hours. And then today, with the games really kicking off again for Premier League, for Bundesliga, and for all the other top 5 leagues, we're probably going to see these halftime packs added to the game. Now, it's either going to come today or it'll come on Tuesday when Champions League resumes. I'm not exactly sure. It could come either way. Now, we've seen halftime content in the past for Champions League. It just wouldn't make much sense for them to add the packs yesterday and then not use them until Tuesday. That's the only thing I have about it. But we're going to get these player picks where you get a pick between 5 untradeable rare gold players, 87 and higher. And then the same thing with 3 picks, 86 and higher. These packs have a huge chance of giving you something big in them, whether it's a FUT birthday player, a FUT birthday icon, or if you save them until team of the season, these could be some of the, guaranteed team of the season packs almost, just given the fact that they're so high rated. Once you get up to 87 rated on a player pick, I mean, we've seen how automatic the 85 plus times 10s are on giving you a good promo player, especially later in the year. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like for 87 plus. So I'm excited for that pack. But nonetheless, we ended up making 408,000 coins in just a few seconds yesterday. I'm going to show you exactly how. And if you've been following my videos for a while and you've been subscribed to the channel, then you'll probably know what I'm talking about. It's first day flipping. Take a look at that Maldini right there. That's exactly who made me my profit. And if we take a look at my transfer targets, you kind of see me messing around with some of them yesterday. 3.8 mil there, and then you can see one sold for 4.6. And let me tell you what, from the time that this for 3.8 million sold to the time that this card at 4.6 million sold was within 5 minutes. 5 minutes. That's all it took for the card to go up in price that much. And then you see another go on bid there for a little over 4 million coins. Well, for my Maldini, guys, I got in just after that first card was bought on a bid for 3.8 million, about 3,845,000. And if you guys want to see the exact total of what I got them for, I'll go ahead and pull up my Twitter because I actually tweeted this out when I did it. And in general, there were still other opportunities to get in. I tweeted just now, I got this Maldini on bid for 3,845,000. And when I listed it just about 60 seconds later for 4,477,000, it sold in a second. It sold immediately. And it was weird because just 5 minutes beforehand, this card that sold for 4.5 million coins was going for 3.8 mil. It just shows how volatile these cards are on day one. And if they get rare, there's so much demand and there's just not a lot of cards on the market. So all it takes is 1, 2, 3, 4 cards to get bought and boom, it goes up 500,000 coins plus. Now, you could argue I actually sold at the wrong time, believe it or not, 400,000 coins in a minute, and I'm still complaining about my profit, I know. But this Maldini did continue to go up. Right now, it's at 4.6 million still, but it never really dropped back down as much as 3.8 mil. But if we take a look at his hourly graph, this is when I bought, the perfect time. This is when I sold, right after. On the first rise, he did peak at about I'd say he did sell for probably over 5 million for a couple of cards if you were lucky. It showed him selling at 7 million, but he wasn't actually selling. He was just, there was no cards listed for below that. But I sold for about 4.5 million right there. So I bought there, I sold there.
But as you can see over the course of the night, he got as rare as 6.3 and 6.4 million coins. And I'm not exactly sure what he was selling for or if there were just no cards listed. But one way we can actually find out about that is if we go over to the tracker on FUTBin. This is a great tool to use on finding if cards have sold or not. And we go ahead and check him here. And we're just going to look at live sales. And there you can see it, the highest sale for Maldini that was tracked by FUTBin at least was 5.9 million coins. But even just over the course of those 2 hours, you can see he sold for nearly 5 million coins consistently. You got a 4.7 there, even if you were late. One sold for 5.3. So yeah, I could have made even more coins, and I sold right there. That was probably the 4.6 mil card that we were just looking at. That's the card that sold that I just showed you. And yeah, well, the story checks out because he was 3.8 mil just minutes before that. So that's when I sold right there in that spike. And it's all about timing. You can kind of tell after the first card starts rising. We can look at all of the other cards during the promo and see that they're going to rise as well. So the first card that rose for us yesterday was actually Kaká. He went from 2.8 to like 3.4 million. And I saw Maldini was still sitting at 3.8, the cheapest he was all day. So I picked one up. Quickly he rose. I got lucky with how well I timed it, but of course he was going to go up. And the same thing happened for Rooney. You can see on my transfer targets how I was looking at him. It works on day one of every single promo. And you guys, if you have the budget, get in on some of the higher priced cards. Of course, if I had the coins for Eusebio, I probably would have gone in on Eusebio. He got down closer to 10 million coins. He's now 12.3. And even if you have lower budget, you could have done the same thing with Matsumos. You could have done the same thing in a medium budget for, Bruno Guimaraes or Antony, for example. So Hummels, if you guys take a look at his hourly graph, he did something similar. He got down to 95K. He peaked at 128,000 coins overnight. So it's not just for high inexpensive cards. It can be used for some of the lower budget cards as well, but it's just easier with the high budget cards just because there's not as many of them on the market. Now, one thing that you guys need to know before we move on to the next segment, which is the leaked cards, is the fact that you need to sell these cards overnight. You don't want to hold them into the next day, especially not into content on the next day. Although there are some rare situations in which those cards will rise, I'd say 95% of the time they will drop, and they will drop heavily, so you don't want to hold them into the second day. Make sure you sell that same night, even if you're not making a lot of profit. You definitely don't want to hold on to it. So we've got some squad building challenges that are leaked. Of course, we saw yesterday Nkunku drop into the game as an 89. It's lower rated than his path to glory was. So in some ways, people are saying, oh, we're going backwards with this Nkunku. Why is the power curve going backwards? Well, at least they priced it at less of a price of this Nkunku. But I want to show you guys exactly how this Nkunku card changed in price so quickly to the point where even if you were monitoring him on FUTBin pretty actively, you might have missed it. And especially if you look at him in retrospect over the course of the last day in price, you can see how he went from 2.5 to 2.8, but that doesn't tell you the whole story. This card went up way more than that. I took this screenshot at 12:59 p.m. my time, which is a minute before content release, so 5:59 p.m. UK time. I took this screenshot, and then just 4 minutes after the release of content, he went up to 3.3, 3.4 million. He was selling, but I tweeted, if you're smart, you'll sell now, because this card, of course, was going to come back down, similar to how Conte did the other day. But as you guys can see, this card went from 2.5 to 2.8 pretty consistently, and he's slowly dropped down to about 2.7 now, because although he is kind of in a different league as his 89, you've got about a +3 on every single stat. It's still a lot cheaper to go out and get this card for 1.1 mil of SBC fodder. So it's not like this SBC could have helped the price of Nkunku overall, because this 92 Nkunku, looking at the daily graph, was 3.3, maybe 3.1 million, maybe even 2.9 if you want to, take the lower end of it. But once it got leaked as an SBC, it dropped down to 2.5. Listen, even with the release of this 89 being not a great SBC, I mean, it's still not bad if you look at it just without considering the 92. but in comparison to the cards that are already out in the game, it wasn't an SBC that people wanted and were expecting. So people went back to the 92, but the 92 could have never risen back above what he was before this SBC was even an idea. So I think it was a bit ambitious for people to be panic buying over 3 million coins. It just didn't make any sense. And so a lot of people got screwed from that. It wasn't a smart move. And I wanted to point that out as it just didn't make any sense. So let's get into some leaks that we're expecting over the course of the next few days, in which a lot of cards like Nkunku or Kante could rise up in price a ton after content release if you want to sell in that 5 to 10 minute window where there's a ton of profit to be made, or you can invest in complementary links in which these cards are going into people's squads. Now for Gattuso, I'm not expecting a hugely expensive SBC. Of course, they're going to boost his skill moves or his weak foot, but we've already seen Javi Alonso drop into the game. We're seeing a lot more center mids as options. And so this Gattuso just seems a little bit repetitive. It's a good center defensive mid. And depending on his weak foot skill move upgrade, could be a great card depending on the value. I just don't see it affecting the price of too many complementary links. The only thing that I would say is that if you have a center mid or a CDM that is tradable and this SBC comes out and it's great value, they will drop in price because people will replace the tradable card in their squad for this Gattuso SBC. Next up, we've got Bamba. And if you haven't had enough French SBCs, why not more? Bamba's coming as an SBC. He's got really well-balanced stats for a winger, for a left mid here. But again, nothing that really advances the power curve. They are definitely waiting for Team of the Season to give you guys juiced cards. And to be honest, it makes sense. It just would have been better, EA, if you didn't juice so many cards in the first month of the game and let us play with the gold cards that come out at the beginning of each year a little bit longer. That way you could have actually used FUT Birthday as an advancement of the power curve. You guys understand what I'm saying? I feel like it would have made so much more sense for them to delay the first few promos a little bit later in terms of how much they boost cards in November and October, and let us play with those gold cards a little bit longer and have those cards go up in price a little bit longer, and then start dropping cards that make cards go up in price or advance the power curve. So now we're just seeing a little bit of things going backwards since Team of the Year, but still cards that keep up with the power curve. They could be good for guys that haven't upgraded their squad yet. And then again, if you haven't seen enough French SBCs, oh my God, another one. We've got Rabiot coming as a center mid, and his card looks really good. All stats 82 and above, great dribbling. I'm hoping that they give him like 4-star weak foot, 5-star skill moves, because I will do this SBC. It looks so good. It's French, of course, so it links really well with all of the other content they've dropped over the last few weeks. And it's obviously, a card that just looks great with the Hullet Club being added to it. So French cards that aren't in the positions of the SBCs that are coming out, so not left wing, not center mid, not even striker because of Nkunku. But if you go with some of the defenders, maybe the fullbacks, as complementary links, a lot of French cards are probably going to be steadily going up due to all of the French content over the course of the last few days and over the course of the next few days with the release of these squad building challenges. So Rabiot is coming as an SBC as well. So next up, let's go ahead and talk about SBC fodder, because we haven't seen a ton of SBCs dropped into the game that require low-rated fodder. It's all high-rated for FUT Birthday players. You look at the FUT Birthday players, of course, you're going to need 182 or 183 rated squad or something like that, but most of the fodder that's going up is 85, 86, 87, maybe even a little bit higher, which means that this is a great opportunity to pick up cards that are 83 rated in price, roughly, because they are now under 1,000 coins, guys. Under 1K for 83 should be an immediate cop. We're picking those up because we have seen these cards spike to over 2K. We've seen them spike even higher than that, especially even last week. If you guys take a look at it, they were at 3.8 thousand coins, and they have come all the way back down to what they were at the beginning of February. As you guys can see, over the course of the last 2 full months of February and March, they have been above the price they are right now at less than 1,000 coins, you're probably not going to see this for very long. We're probably going to get a FUT birthday party bag or something of the sort. You might end up getting those player pick packs coming as SBCs. Something of the sorts is going to bring these cards up eventually. It's all about win, and I don't think it'll take a terribly long time. Of course, a lot of people opened packs due to FUT birthday, which sent these cards up in price, but overall, how long can they stay at discard price for those 83 rated cards? In my opinion, not very long. And even 84s are still about 3.5 thousand coins. 85s are about 10K plus. 83s just seem weirdly cheap right now, and I think that it's only a matter of time before some sort of squad building challenge comes out that brings those back up in price. Let's go ahead and finish off today's video with a couple of packs. We'll start with the daily preview pack, which I did pack Verratti in yesterday. So one of the very few rare times we profit off the preview pack. But let me know if you guys are still checking your preview packs, because most of the time it just seems like a waste of time. And you've got to also consider, when is it time to start saving packs for team of the season? And I think it's soon. These might be the last packs I actually open before team of the season. I'm actually considering saving those 3 84 plus. We'll start with the 81 plus 2 rare gold players pack and see if we can get ourselves any FUT birthdays out of these. My pack luck hasn't been fantastic, but at least we do get an 84 Thomas Partey in that one. And we get another 84 Hazard. So in terms of an 81 plus double, that's not bad. And if you've made it this far into today's video, do not forget to drop a like on the video and comment the secret comment word of the day, which is whoever pops up on this pack. Whoever it is, comment their name down below. That's the secret comment word of the day. Fabian. That's the secret comment word of the day. And if you comment that down below, I'll make sure to drop a heart on your comment. And since they're both duplicates and I have to send those into an SBC, that's where we're going to end it today. I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe with notifications on, and peace out.